Hi everyone, welcome to the third episode of the fourth season of the Journey Hub. And today we have Soumita Banerjee with us. She already joined us in the last season and we are happy to have her back with us. She's a direct performance director at Reprise Digital with more than a decade of experience in digital advertising across two markets, Canada and India, and we are happy to have you here with us today. We also have students who join us today who have a chance to participate in our chat. So we are very excited to get started. Thank you so much all for joining.
Very excited.
Really happy to be back.
Yes.
So let's get started.
Awesome. So let's maybe start with girls introducing themselves, and then we will let you, Soumita, introduce yourself too. Sounds good?
Yeah.
Nada, would you like to get started?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Nada Gabra. I lived all my life in Egypt. I finished my undergraduate at the American University in Cairo. I did a major in integrated marketing communications and a minor in psychology because I was torn between both of them. And technically, I found a connection anyway between psychology and marketing. Then I moved to Canada. I started working at a marketing company as well. We were doing events, but then I ended up having a car accident. So I had to stop working. It's when I decided I want to do my master's. So I started doing my master in digital marketing with the Salford University in UK. I'm currently finishing my thesis. It's about digital marketing and tourism in Egypt. I found a gap actually in Canada because whenever I ask anyone anything about Egypt, it's always about the pyramids, nothing more than that. So yeah, that's why I wanted to write my thesis about that.
Oh. That is amazing. No, that sounds actually great. So, and yeah, okay. And Zunera, would you like to introduce yourself too?
Yeah, of course. So I do have a prior exposure and background in digital marketing as well because I transitioned from traditional media because I was a journalist working as an editor and then collaborating with the reporters because then I realized the world is evolving and it needs to be changed a little. So I stepped into more digital side of the journalism. So I learned how to create and also took some certifications, some industry recognized certification from Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and wanted to dive more into the digital marketing aspects. But yeah, it's still ongoing, and also have my postgrad in communications and public relations, which is helping me along with this journey. So yeah, excited to see how it goes. Thank you.
Awesome. Soumita, here.
Yeah, sure. So hi guys, I am Soumita Banerjee, and currently I am Director of Performance for Nestle Canada at Reprise, which is part of the IPG network. And I lead all activities for paid social, search, and YouTube. So that's my portfolio. And prior to this, I was an AD at Omnicom, at OMD, where I was leading everything for McDonald's and Sick Kids. So I've worked across maybe all lines of businesses for now, like all verticals and all industries. So yeah, I am excited with this journey of digital advertising and where it's going from here on. Every day it's like a new learning.
That is incredible. And yes, I agree. I think you tried everything. That's amazing, the accounts you worked on. So thank you so much for joining us today. I think for girls it will be an amazing experience to have a chance to chat with you and ask questions. Okay, so I'll be the one to think questions for Nada. So let's start with the first one, and we will move on and let Zunera to pronounce her question. So the first question would be about entry-level jobs. It's really hard right now, still hard. It's a lot of opportunities and people networking online, but it's still really hard to get an entry-level job after university or college. So what would be your 2 or 3 pieces of advice for someone who would like to get an entry-level job in marketing and advertising?
I think a lot of these agencies, a lot of these companies, they have their residency or internship programs, paid internships, because we're trying to abolish the unpaid internship rules. So definitely paid internships. And these are your stepping stones into the world of advertising or into like a corporate world. Because you will be taught everything from scratch, like a whole roadmap will be built for you. And that's how you will also sort of get exposure to different clients, figure out if this is actually what do you like working on something like this, or no, I don't really like digital, maybe I'll double my hands at TV instead. So that's why internship will always help, because it's sort of like a peek into the world. So I would definitely say, like, people who are recently graduating or they're about to graduate, definitely do look out for internship postings by all of these companies. And there's a lot of internships that's being given out. So definitely keep your eyes out for that. The second thing, and I feel like I mentioned this even during the last time that I chatted with you guys, was about certifications. I feel like certifications are so much more important. And you need to be able to get those certifications done so that you are a little ahead than the rest of your peers, or a little ahead than the rest of the competition, that I would say. So if you have interest, let's say in paid social, you would do your certifications around Facebook Blueprint or Twitter Flight School or Snapchat certifications, like stuff like that. And if you have like interest in search or YouTube or whichever else, there are like certificates for each and every field. So you can figure it out by the platforms themselves, or LinkedIn, like you get so many ones, so many certifications on LinkedIn as well. So you can definitely like take those up, because these will sort of let your employers or your prospective employers know that you are ready to go to that extra mile before you even have a job in your hand. Because I think the notion is that, oh, I don't even have a job in my hand, and once I get that, then I will do certification. But if you do your certifications like way before, I feel like it sort of adds more value to your resume compared to others who don't. And that sort of gives an edge over, edge for you over others. And then I'll most, like, if I am interviewing you, I'll most likely hire you, someone with no experience, but has enough, they have taken the proactive route of reaching out, figuring out, okay, what is the Facebook business manager? What is the Twitter ads manager? Like understanding all of those nuances. And I think that shows more proactivity from the point of view of the prospective employees. So definitely I would suggest to go ahead with these as well.
Thank you. And I agree with, for our company, when we are hiring, that's what we do, that's what we look at. And it's really important, because you want to have someone, even if it's an intern, who try to already learn just a little bit about the job itself, or, you know, like he's not just coming in starting out from nothing. But so I agree, it's a great point. Thank you so much for this. And yes, let's move on to our second question from Zunera.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask regarding the content marketing strategy, and how critical is that for small and medium-sized businesses to have a content strategy aligned with their platform?
Sorry, I think we can skip the content strategy because I work purely for paid. So I don't think I would be the right person to answer content strategy questions.
So then what would you recommend for certification specifically for digital? If there's someone who wants to get into digital space, I know Blueprint is the one that you mentioned, Facebook Blueprint. Would you recommend just going to different social media platforms and looking for certification straight like from them? That's what we recommend?
Yeah, like all of these companies, they generally have certifications on their platform. So you just have to type the name of the platform and then add certifications to it. And you will automatically be redirected to a page on their website where they have like all the details about their certifications, how their modules, like it's very clear and easy for you to follow along and get that and get yourself certified. And then it's so easy because then you can put it on your LinkedIn profile, and that makes you that makes your profile even more stronger. Because then let's say an HR is going through your profile, trying to get you into one of the entry level jobs, she can see, okay, you have done these 5 trainings or 5 certificates. So that definitely comes handy.
That is great. Thank you so much. And so would you recommend just to put it on LinkedIn for HR to see it, like a resume in LinkedIn? That's
absolutely. I feel like this is the world of boasting. You need to boast about your certification that you've done, because right now you don't have too many notches on your belt because you're just starting out. So getting stuff like certifications done and showcasing this to the world, or showcasing it on your LinkedIn profile or resume, that will sort of catch the eye for people when they'll be looking out. So adding on to that will definitely help us networking on LinkedIn. The more people you're likely to add just for a conversation, and it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm looking for a job, can you please hire me? Like, you should never be that direct. But if you just want to understand, hey, I want to understand about the digital marketing space in Canada, can you just tell me or guide me, how should I approach my job hunting, or how should I approach speaking to an employer, or can you give me interview tips? I think those will definitely go a long way, rather than directly approaching and be like, okay, please catch my resume, can you tell me if there's a job available? Nobody wants to entertain someone who doesn't know them. So that's why I feel like you need to start building up conversational interviews, where you're doing more of a coffee chat rather than formal interviews, where you're answering questions and stuff. And this is more just to understand, okay, I'm really interested in the programmatic side. Can you please tell me, give me tips of how should I get into programmatic? Should I do some courses? Should I do some certifications? You need to understand that space and build your network that way. That's why I think networking on LinkedIn, finding the right connections, adding them. When you're adding them, send a note that, hey, I am graduating from so-and-so college. I'm looking to expand my network and I would really love to chat with you. Please, can you add me to your network? This helps, rather than blankly sending connection requests that I'll be like, okay, there's no mutual connection. Why should I even add you? And then I'll straight away decline. So that's why writing a message also helps. So these are some small tips that can apart from just generic certifications and apart from just generic work-wise, this is the way how you can sort of approach even people from the industry.
No, those are amazing tips, I think, and for people who are already in a job and want to switch, and those who are trying to get in a job. So thank you so much. And I guess I'll be asking a lot of questions today for Nada. So, okay. So the next question is about the skills that are important in the digital marketing, and how do you stay updated on all of this? Because there's so much going on, and especially with social is digital, things change every day. Oh my gosh, I know myself because I'm a social media manager. So how are you able to stay current with all of this?
Yeah, I think to keep yourself updated, that's definitely important. So there are 2 ways for it. One, if you're already in working with an agency or working with any company, all of your platforms, there will be a representative of those platforms who will be servicing you. So you will have somebody from Facebook talking to you, you'll have someone from Pinterest, someone from Snapchat, all of these platforms. You need to be able to talk to them on a regular basis, be it a bi-weekly basis or a monthly basis. That's when you ask them, okay, what's new that's happening in the industry? What's new happening with this particular vertical? Can you tell me if there's any product updates that I should be knowing of so that I can suggest that to my clients? So that's one way. The second way is you need to read on to a lot of different publications like TechCrunch or Mashable, or the strategy online. These are some of the publications that you can, and I'm talking purely from a Canadian perspective, but I'm sure that's the case like for all around the globe as well, where you can actually like read stuff, what is happening latest, anything that's launched new, any case studies that somebody else has done, like some other competition has done that you want to read and sort of get inspiration for your next campaign. And that's also like a very good place for you to do competition scan, so that you can also see like what are the other brands doing that you need to tap on or you need to get on the bandwagon. So I definitely think that keeping yourself updated, that's so important in digital, because unlike other fields, there's literally things changing every day. Like, and it's very difficult to keep up on because there are so many different platforms. So if you are not reading, you're not keeping yourself educated, and you miss out, let's say for 1 month, in digital times, you are going back like 5 years if you don't keep yourself updated by a month. So that's how fast things change. And I think people need to realize that even if you do get like an entry job, don't take it for granted and be like, oh, okay, I have a job now, so I don't have to do anything. I just have to do my day-to-day. No, because the place that you have got the job in, there are 10 more people who are like easily replaceable, because there are so many more like people who are willing to get in, but there are less number of jobs. That's why you need to like shine out from the rest of the competition. And that's why you need to keep yourself updated and keep like knowing what is happening in the industry on a regular basis rather than your competition.
That is incredible. I
Thank you.
totally agree. Okay, so I think our next question will be from Danera. It will be a little bit similar to what we had before about entry-level jobs. So we talked a little bit about skills, right? So Zanera, would you like to ask the next question?
Yeah, thank you, Mita, for sharing great perspectives and insights on digital marketing. So yeah, the next is like, how do you see an entry-level applicant transitioning into digital media or communications kind of role and have that certifications in their portfolio? So would you like to recommend something for them?
Sorry, can you expand a little bit on your question?
Yeah, so when a candidate is starting off in their journey in digital media, would you like to share something regarding to include in their portfolio so they are ahead of the competition?
Yeah, like I said, I think getting internships on your belt, that's like super important. Getting your certifications done, that's important. I'm sure that all of the schools now, they have like co-ops. So if you're doing a project, include that as well, because that's how you build your portfolio. Because when you're starting out in your entry level, you'll not have award-winning projects or award-winning like titles on your resume. But the more that you can showcase with the little that you have done, I think that definitely goes a long way. That shows that, okay, although you don't have like formal corporate experience, but you're willing to go down that extra road by showcasing that, okay, I haven't done like a formal work experience, but I have all the certifications under my belt that I can proudly showcase. I have done projects with other reputable companies or from within my school that I can showcase. And I've also done internships that also showcases that I have gone the extra mile. And I'm not like sitting and being like, okay, when a job comes, it will come. Like it just shows that you are more willing to like go the extra mile and take that extra step. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. That helps for the new candidate jumping into the industry and yeah, realizing that they have a lot of potential rather than other candidates. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And I think the last question from Nara today. So when you get to digital, I'll look at it from two perspectives. First is when you're starting out, yes, we can get certifications and we can maybe get some practice, hopefully on your business, not someone else's business. So, Yeah, so you maybe get some practice, you maybe had some courses, participated in some events and things like that. But then when you get a job and you are in a position in digital and it's been maybe a year, and yes, you're learning, but you still want to improve your skills and you want to grow and you want to maybe understand a little bit more, like how you can transition later. So you don't want to just sit and wait when the time comes and you will move to a different place or something. So what would you recommend when you for improving the digital marketing skills to be able to maybe be a bigger value for the company that you're at?
Yeah, I think definitely, because when you're joining a company, you'll be given like a set of clients, and I'm talking purely from like an agency perspective. You'll be given like a set of clients or one client that you have to work on. The more that you test with the client, the more that you get comfortable talking to the client and convincing them of your idea and say that, okay, this is the traditional way how our partners say, but I have another idea and I want to test it this way. And you give your hypothesis and you give your methodology and they agree. And let's say that the test goes well or it doesn't go well, that's a sort of learning. So you know that, okay, maybe I shouldn't take these mix of partners for this sort of objective. Because if you do not test out more, you do not sort of ask the right questions or sort of brainstorm with your clients, you're never going to go ahead. You're just going to be doing like your regular 9-to-5 job. That's neither helping your own company, nor it's helping your client, neither it's helping yourself. So that's why I think you need to ask the right questions. You need to dig deep and go beyond the traditional route of, okay, fine, it's reach. So I will just take partner A and run with this. You need to be able to test multiple stuff because there are so many new platforms that's coming up. The audiences have spread across so many like different platforms. You will be missing out on so much if you're just restricting yourself to one particular platform or two particular platforms. Like you need to be able to like test out formats. Like, does a long form video work? Does a static work? Does a GIF work? You need to be able to do those tests and then come to a conclusion. And that's the way that you will be able to like be better. And I also feel like once you do that, build like a habit of making like a short case study format for yourself. You don't have to like do it for anybody else. And it can be any format. You want to put it in a Word document, you want to put it in a PowerPoint, you want to put anywhere, but it's more like a reference check for you, so that if you have done a test, this will be like a legend and you will be like, okay, I have done this test. This is what the hypothesis was. This is what the objective was. This is the brief of the client, and these were the results. So you know that if it went well, you can always refer back and be like, okay, we can do this again because the last time it was super successful. Or if it was not successful, you can be like, okay, let's avoid this to the client, because there are constantly new people that comes from the client side or from the partner side or your internal teams. So you want to keep like a legend at your end, and you can be like, yep, we did try this like 2 months back and it didn't really work well. So let's avoid this and let's try another tactic. So I think after you get the job, that's when actually the challenges start. I feel like it's easier to get the certifications and get your foot in the door rather than staying in your job and excelling in that. That's your real challenge, because you have real dollars of the client. You have to be super responsible of your clients' monies, their objective, their business priorities. So it's not just a project, and it's really a reality for the client. So that's when I think it's more challenging rather than doing certifications at the beginning.
Yes, I think it's a great point. Nada, do you agree? That was your question?
Yeah, that was my question. Thank you.
Amazing. No, there was so many insights. Thank you so much for that. So I don't really think we have any more questions, but yes, if you girls maybe have any other questions, maybe regarding like career or digital that you would like to ask, I think, Soumita, would you have a couple of minutes to answer that?
Yeah.
No, we are good. Did we cover everything today?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, awesome. What about you, Banerjee?
Yeah, it was really amazing to hear perspective from Soumita. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing. Can I ask a question from me then, quickly?
Yes, go for it.
So my question would be, what do you like the most or the least about digital?
I think what I like the most is also what I like the least is it is the most measurable medium ever. You can actually measure somebody's click to a visit to a time spent. All of these metrics as possible, which is not possible in other traditional mediums. Like you'll not be able to see, okay, how much time was spent on a print, or how much time did people see an outdoor hoarding? But you can do that on all your digital advertising. So I think that's definitely something that I love, but that's also something that not hate, but it's sort of like a bane for all digital advertising professionals, because then you are like scrutinized way more. The expectation from digital advertising is way more, but it's not anymore like a one-to-one point. There's no more like, oh, you see one ad, you click, you convert, and you're done. Like users, they have their consumer journey so massive, and that's why I think we need to like broaden our horizons and look at it in a holistic way, rather than being like, okay, I had like 10 clicks from my campaign, why did it not convert into, let's say, a sale or a lead or whatever the objective is? I think that's also like our bane. So that's why I'll say that the more you measure, it's good for you, but the more you measure is also, you're trying to go against machine learning and trying to put like more manual intervention, which never really helps. So I think, yeah, that's what I like and hate.
That was very interested to know that actually. I'm very interested in digital, and I wanted to try paid. So I've been always interested. I felt like a little bit it was like a guessing game, you know, when you try and you're like, did creative not work? Like, let's look at analytics, what's going on, conversion rates, how does it work? But I feel like it's very interesting guessing game. And I definitely agree this is the best and maybe the most not interesting thing about that. So no, that's amazing. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Of course. And yes, if we don't have any other questions, I just want to say thank you so much for joining. There was so many insights today from so many different sides, and from digital, and a little bit from job search, and about like positions at Delph. Thank you so much for this. I hope you girls enjoy that too. And I hope all your questions were answered today. So yes, I hope we stay in touch. And we will have a chance to maybe chat at some point, maybe even for normal coffee at some point here in Canada. I know, I think I probably said the same time in the last season, but it's a little bit sad.
Yeah, I think it was around the same time.
Yes, and I'm a little bit sad because nothing really changed, almost nothing since that time. But hopefully we will have a chance to maybe even meet at some point. So thank you so much again for joining, and girls, and Soumita. It was amazing to see you again and hear those amazing insights. So yes, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting me again.
Thank you so much.
This was really nice. Yeah, thank you.
Of course. Okay, so thank you everyone, and please stay safe and healthy, vaccinated, and we'll see you soon in for good coffee chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Karina.
Okay.
Thanks,
Bye.
Bye.